my independent and compassionate Aquarius friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Aquarius, you might sense a quiet heaviness settling in the spaces between your thoughts this week. The air is full of possibilities, yet none seem to reach you in the way you hope. A gentle ache lingers, not sharp or loud, but persistent, like a question that hangs in the room and refuses to be named. It's the feeling of looking out across a landscape you know intimately, searching for something new and not quite finding it. Underneath your usual spark, there's a restlessness, as if you're waiting for a sign or a shift. You may find yourself going through the motions, aware of an emotional undercurrent that isn't quite ready to surface. There's a sense of being surrounded by what you need, but not quite able to feel it fully. The world keeps moving, but your heart seems to hover in a pause, not out of apathy, but from a kind of gentle longing. You're not lost. You're simply suspended between what was and what could be, holding space for something to change. This week, your inner landscape is shaped by the energy of the 4 of Cups. It's as if you're sitting quietly, feeling both full and empty at once. You notice the connections around you, the gestures of care, the small comforts, but they don't quite reach all the way inside. It's not disappointment so much as a subtle sense of disconnection. You might feel as though you're waiting for a spark, something to reignite your enthusiasm or bring clarity to a foggy horizon. Moments of stillness become heavy. Even your favorite distractions lose their color for a moment. There's a temptation to withdraw, to stare out windows or into screens, letting your mind drift rather than engage. You may recognize the gifts in your life, but their meaning seems dulled, as if wrapped in tissue. This is not a rejection of what you have, but a gentle mourning for what feels out of reach. Underneath, a quiet hope persists, a belief that something more is possible, even if you can't quite name it. This week doesn't demand action from you, but it certainly asks you to notice this subtle ache. The tension lies in wanting to reconnect with yourself and your world, while feeling uncertain how to begin. There's vulnerability in this in-between, but also honesty. You're not pretending to be content. You're honoring the truth of your own emotional weather, even if it's cloudy. Sometimes, the most courageous thing is to sit with your dissatisfaction and let it be real. From this place of quiet longing and gentle withdrawal, the week's path takes on a certain clarity. Your inner unrest doesn't remain hidden. It seeks expression, shaping how you move through your days. The need for change, for engagement, becomes impossible to ignore. The emotional pause becomes the reason your mind starts looking for new angles, new ways to connect, or simply new questions to ask. The pause isn't just a stop, it's a gathering of energy, a silent call for something different. The Page of Swords steps into your story, bringing curiosity and a restless urge to break the silence. A new idea, a small intrigue, or an unexpected message might catch your attention, challenging the monotony you've been feeling. You notice yourself scanning for details, picking up on subtext, or catching stray thoughts that seem strangely important. There's a gentle mental pressure, an itch to clarify, explain, or unravel what's been circling in your mind. You may find yourself wanting to speak up, ask questions, or probe gently into conversations that would usually pass by. There's a certain friction here, between wanting to remain in your quiet space and the impulse to test the boundaries of your own understanding. The outside world feels more alive with possibilities, but this brings its own tension. New information could arrive, but it may not resolve your questions immediately. Instead, it stirs up more. You might feel the urge to defend your perspective or to challenge a familiar assumption. There's momentum, but it's not a rush. It's more like a breeze that won't let you rest. The pressure comes from inside, a need to make sense of your feelings, to translate emotional fog into words or ideas. At times, you might feel misunderstood or sense that others aren't quite on your wavelength. Even so, the energy is honest and searching. You're willing to look beneath the surface, even if the answers aren't simple. This week, your path is shaped by the dance between quiet reflection and the urge to reach out, to question, to reframe what you see. This tension is uncomfortable, but it's also fertile ground. Each question you ask is a step away from stagnation, even if it doesn't lead to resolution right away. It's clear now that the potential of this week depends on how gently you meet your own restlessness. The pressure to act, to clarify, or to seek understanding isn't just about fixing discomfort. It's a chance to notice what your heart truly wants and whether you're willing to let yourself feel it. The energy around you responds to your willingness to stay present, to stay curious even when answers don't come easily. If you turn away from your own questions, the week might feel heavier, more repetitive. But if you lean in, the discomfort becomes a doorway to something more. The Five of Cups appears as your potential, holding the possibility of honest growth. This isn't about overcoming sadness or finding a sudden solution. Instead, it's about recognizing what you've been carrying, grief, regret, or unmet longing, and letting that recognition soften your experience. You're invited to look directly at what feels lost or missing, not to dwell on it, but to understand its place in your story. The ache you feel isn't a sign of failure. It's proof that you care deeply, that you're alive to both hope and sorrow. Growth here looks like making room for your own vulnerability without asking it to disappear. When you allow yourself to feel disappointment or longing without judgment, something shifts. You begin to see what remains even as you mourn what isn't. There's a quiet dignity in this process. The cups that have spilled are real and their absence matters. But there are also cups that remain, connections, strengths, small joys, that become visible only when you stop searching for what's missing. The invitation isn't to move on quickly, but to allow your own tenderness to guide you forward. In this way, your week becomes less about fixing what hurts and more about honoring what is. Your growth arrives through acceptance and gentle curiosity. Even sadness has something to show you if you're willing to listen. When you look back over the arc of this week, a quiet but profound pattern emerges. You begin with a sense of longing and subtle disconnect, as if your heart is waiting for something indefinable. This is not a weakness, but a sign that you're listening to yourself, refusing to settle for easy answers. The pause leads you to question, to reach out, to seek understanding, not just from others but from within. You test your own assumptions, daring to wonder what more might be possible. In doing so, you invite both clarity and discomfort. The friction of curiosity doesn't resolve everything, but it keeps you moving. It won't let you remain hidden from your own truth. And when the ache of what's missing surfaces, you don't turn away. You look at it gently, allowing it to sit beside your hope. Something quiet shifts. The emptiness becomes less frightening, the longing less sharp. You discover that even in disappointment there is still something solid to hold on to. The world doesn't demand you be cheerful or certain. Instead, it offers you the chance to be honest, to let your feelings be what they are. In the end, the emotional weather clears not through force, but through your willingness to remain present. There is comfort in this acceptance and a subtle sense of peace that grows from within. No matter how restless or uncertain you feel, you are still moving forward, step by step in your own time. Actionable insights for Aquarius this week. You might try letting yourself simply notice moments of longing without needing to explain them away. You could give yourself permission to quietly question something you'd normally accept without reflection. You may want to let gentle sadness be part of your day, side by side with moments of ease. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am allowed to feel exactly what I feel. Each question I ask is a sign of care. I honor both the ache and the hope within me. I am whole, even in unfinished moments. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.